Hi, I did Mad Max, and we are back at the Mecca, and I'm back with the beautiful Sheena, just a few days away from the 2017 Mr. Olympia. How are you, Sheena?
I'm good, Dave.
So last time we spoke, we actually did the Muscle Beach TV interview as you just moved to California. It's been a few weeks already, and then you were talking about your YouTube channel all the time and everything. It's in full swing. You're shooting here all the time. Tons of content for your fans. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the last interview we did was, I had just moved here, must have been like in June, so I was pretty fresh from winning the New York Pro, and I just moved here. I had just started working with Austin, so Austin does all of my videos, a whole lot of photography for me as well, so yeah, all of my SJF Tribe membership platform videos, which is my exclusive platform that has full-length videos, so like 30-40 minute videos.
Nice.
Of all of my prep and a lot of information. I publish workouts through there and all sorts of stuff. He does all of those for me, and we also do Instagram and YouTube videos every week as well. So yeah, we're filming here at the Mecca. We've also been filming kind of out and about a little bit as well. Like
nice.
I've had some really amazing opportunities shooting an advert for BPI Sports, my supplement sponsors. So Austin did a whole lot of behind the scenes of that. So we've been trying to capture, you know, this has been a Road to the Olympia series, and we've been filming every single week, but kind of trying to show everything else that I do as well, because my life's a bit of a circus sometimes. I'm always like, there's always so much going on, but
so today we're gonna have
enough to just follow me around.
So today we're gonna have the behind the scene, which is kind of cool, first time. So it's great. So what are we training today? A little bit.
So I'm doing an upper body workout today. So I've been training 2 days in a row of glutes, hamstrings, and then one upper body session. So that's kind of been my little cycle of training at the moment. It's all pretty high volume stuff, and you know, obviously you're not going to grow when you're in an extreme calorie deficit.
Right.
I'm trying to train for conditioning at the moment, so you know, just getting blood into the muscle, trying to train for conditioning, but also maintaining, you know, size and fullness in the places I want it, whilst I shrink everything else.
There you go. All right, we're gonna get going. Thanks, Sheena.
So I am doing like full upper body today. It's all really just working to get a pump, working to deplete the muscles. Nothing is heavy. I've just done a wide grip lat pull down, and then a superset of a rear delt pull and a cable back extension. I was saying earlier when I was filming, when I'm getting this close to a show, and you know, I train myself, I coach myself, I usually just do what I like doing. You know, when you get this close and you're not trying to build muscle, you're not going to change your physique a whole lot. You are working for conditioning. A lot of the time I would just do the exercises that I like and that I know that I feel them, you know. So yeah, I'm just doing a bit of all my favorites, and it'll be a good full upper body pump.
Hi Sheena, I'm really glad we got to catch up today a little bit. I know you've been really busy. I see you shoot at Golds all the time. You've been really taking advantage of being in California, and you said you would. You didn't waste any time. You've been working on your brand. You've been working really hard in the gym. You're putting yourself out there, and there's a lot of cool things that's been happening for you since you moved here. You wanna spill the beans a little bit and tell us about it, if you can?
Yeah. I mean, I've been working my butt off since I got here. You know, I had all these plans, you know, when I was still living in New Zealand. I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I wanted all these things. Like, essentially people ask me, like, you know, what do you see as your kind of vision for, I guess, for your business and your brand? And the closest thing I could say to, you know, to people is I wanted to be the New Zealand Paige Hathaway. That's kind of the, I guess, you know, I want to be a name that people know, but I want to also be someone that can, I guess, inspire people by doing what I love. I love, you know, coaching athletes. I love competing. I love doing photo shoots. I love doing all of that, and I wanted to, I guess, you know, build an empire, so to speak, where I can do all of that and, you know, be living in my favorite city in the world, making a living doing what I love. So, yeah, I mean, it was a long time planning all of this stuff before. I mean, obviously over the last 3 years I've traveled to America heaps for the competitions, but I could never stay here for longer than 90 days without a return ticket out. I'm still an alien, technically. Still an alien.
You're pretty alien.
I decided I wanted to move here. I knew that if I wanted to make it in this industry, I needed to be here. You know, not just as an IFBB pro. I mean, there is no pro bikini in New Zealand. There is not one single show for me to do at home. The closest thing I could ever have done to living in New Zealand, they did do pro bikini a few years back, but you know, the Arnold Classic in Australia, that's essentially like my home show now, if I was, you know, back in New Zealand. So not just in, you know, competing wise, but the fitness industry itself in New Zealand is essentially non-existent. You know, to build a brand and you know, to achieve the things I want to achieve, I knew that I had to move here, and you know, it's been scary. It's been, you know, a huge expense. It costs thousands and thousands of dollars just to get a visa to come and live here for 3 years. You know, it's crazy. When I was applying for my visa and people would ask me how much it cost, and when I would tell them, and then you essentially like double that because the New Zealand dollar sucks, they're like, oh my god, they're so expensive. I'm like, well, how much do your dreams cost? Seriously? Like, it costs that much. Well, I'm never going to achieve what I want to achieve sitting at home in New Zealand. So, you know, I didn't even think about it like that. I mean, wow. I think, you know, you only get one life, and I only have one chance. And I've been working really hard to, you know, with my content, my new website, all of the stuff, YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I've been working non-stop since I've been here. It's made it challenging, you know, being on prep, trying to do all of that as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, I only did my first show 4 years ago. I've been a pro for 3.5 years. I mean, it took me longer than some people to make it to the Olympia, but bearing in mind that I turned pro 6 months after I lifted up my first dumbbell, like,
that's pretty good.
I kind of, you know, I've taken a different route to some people, and that's fine. You know, that's cool. Your story can't be compared to anyone else's. So, you know, I turned pro quickly, and honestly, that was the most incredible thing that happened in my life. You know, it gave me a platform to start achieving all of the things I wanted to achieve. I got my job as a lawyer. I started personal training so that I could actually use my qualification, and this led me on the most incredible journey to here, which I still can't believe I live here. I was thinking this, you know, because I've come here before for like, I came here for 7 weeks before the Olympia last year, so I've done, you know, long stints here. So I guess I'm a bit of a gypsy though, because, you know, when I've been back in New Zealand in between trips, that hasn't felt like home for a long time either. You know, wow. I've kind of been, I guess, here feels like home, and that's what's important.
Did you feel like that from the first time you came? Did you feel like, wow, this is somewhere I could actually
I mean, I've loved it every time we've come here, and I've traveled to a lot of places in America, like for shows, but I love LA, you know, more than anywhere else, and it's just such an incredible atmosphere. And obviously, you know, training here, like training for the Olympia beside, you know, all of these people that have been training for so long, competing for so long, you know, like, there are multiple Olympia champions training in here. Yesterday I was on the Stairmaster beside Nicole Wilkins. It's like, it's just, you know, being here is like just being a part of it all. That's right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to actually comprehend that I'm here doing it all.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I've been working very hard for a very long time, and I feel like I'm finally. It feels like everything's finally falling into place, and like I'm finally getting traction, I guess. I've obviously got a pretty big show in 2 weeks, my second Olympia, which I'm very excited about. I'm trying to really focus on my own path, you know. I've got blinkers on, I need to bring my best, I want to be better than I was when I won the New York Pro. Good. That is my goal. It doesn't matter what anyone else does, every single bikini pro on that stage is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone's incredible. You've got to stand out, you've got to have X factor, you've got to be the entire package, and I'm just really focused on bringing the absolute best of me in every respect. So
how do you feel about, when you mentioned it's your second Olympia, I'm sure last year was just great to go, but this year you know what to expect, you've been there before. Do you feel that helps your confidence? Of course.
Yeah, I mean, last year I was the first bikini pro to ever go to the Olympia from New Zealand or Australia, so it was a life goal for me to make it to the Olympia. Yeah. Just to make it to the Olympia was like my biggest goal I ever had, you know? Yeah. So I won a show. It wasn't a huge show, but I won a show. I got to go to the Olympia. I wasn't in the top 15. I was proud of making it to the Olympia, but I was disappointed that, not that I didn't make the top 15, because if I looked at those photos, I know I didn't deserve to be in the top 15. I needed to be better, and so I knew that I could be. So I went to work and I did 9 shows in 9 months. I literally, from the Olympia last year through until the New York Pro in May this year, I did 9 shows in that 9 months. Wow. I didn't stop. I think my stage weight at the Olympia last year was like 131, and I am currently 122 with like maybe 10 pounds of water to go, maybe 7-8 pounds of water. So essentially I'm like already 10 pounds less than I was on stage, and I'm still watering. So I have trained legs fasted almost every day for a year, and I have done more hours on the Stairmaster than any sane person would ever do. And yeah, I mean, I've been working incredibly hard to make improvements, and I guess, you know, my logic is I just won't stop until I'm proud of what I've achieved, and I've achieved some great things, you know, coming top 6 to the Arnold Classic in Australia this year was amazing for me. That was a big accomplishment for me, because I placed amongst, you know, the top girls from the Olympia last year. So for me that was really, you know, that meant a lot to me. It meant more than it would have if I had just like won a random show, for example, but you know, I still didn't have that Olympia qualification. So I kept working, and I won the New York Pro. So that doesn't even feel real, really. The other day, someone reposted my interview, my winner's interview from after New York Pro, and like, I was actually trying not to cry watching it, but well after my feelings. But it was so surreal. Like, it still doesn't even really sink in that I achieved that. But I'm working towards the next goal now. So that's so great. Yeah. But lots of exciting things happening. I have just lots more opportunities. I feel like I'm finally, you know, it's like I've been working so hard, and you know, over the years people keep being like, oh, you know, how do you make a living, and this must be so hard, and I just keep saying, I'm paying it forward, one day it'll pay off. You know, I've invested every single cent to my name. I've invested the last 3 years of my life, you know, all of the energy, money, everything. I've invested everything in this, and I feel like it's finally, you know, I've been saying I'm paying it forward, thinking, shit, I hope I really am paying it forward. And like, it feels like it's finally, I feel like I'm finally getting traction, and I'm just really excited about all of those things. I have got some very exciting photo shoots in Vegas, as well as obviously I'm competing at the Olympia. I will also be at the booth, so I'll be able to meet a whole lot of like fans and supporters at the BPI Sports booth, the Steel Fit Protan booth, so that is really cool, and I have also been asked to do Jayne annual Ghost Town shoot that he does the day after Olympia. So he has picked 3 bikini pros. I won't say who the other 2 are in case they don't want to tell anyone, in case they want to surprise everyone, but that's a very big honour for me. I mean, obviously there are a lot of incredibly beautiful bikini pros out there that he could have picked to do that shoot. So I'm really excited. I love photo shoots. Like I love competing, but I'd say I actually love shoots more than I even love being on stage. I guess you have images for forever. So I love photo shoots. So one photo shoot that I have always, every year, bodybuilding.com does their Bodies of Work series, and so they're up to the 6th volume. And so right back in the very first volume was like Nicole Wilkins, and I've always looked up to her. And a lot of these girls that I really idolize and have idolized over the years have done this bodybuilding.com Bodies of Work shoots, and I have been asked to do the volume 6 Bodies of Work photo shoot, and honestly it's really surreal for me. It's like it was literally another goal, another career goal, a huge goal for me. I think it's a huge honor and a huge privilege to be asked to do a shoot like that. It is a portfolio of artwork. It's an incredible concept. So I will be in the volume 6 bodybuilding.com Bodies of Work shoot, and I am flying out to Vegas a little before the Olympia to shoot a couple of days before. It's kind of, it's risky doing a shoot, right before a show, but it's it's worth it for this. I am very, very excited about that. It's I've always seen that shoot every year and thought, man, I would love to do that one day, but I've never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be asked to do it. So I guess I've always kind of I always feel like the underdog, like this girl from New Zealand who is just a nobody. That's the way I feel, and I guess it's a good mindset to have, because I'm always working harder, I'm always, I am willing to be the hardest worker in the room every single day of my life for the rest of my life to get to my goals. So I have to tell you, when I hear you talk like that, and given your history and where you came from and everything, I'm getting a lot of similarity between you and Oksana Gushina, because she came, of course, from Russia, came over here, no one knew her, and all she talks about when we do interview is how hard she worked, and we can see how hard she worked. And of course, you're not fitness, but just in your own right, I think that message keeps coming back in your interview all the time, and hopefully I wish for you. We are both ballerinas, so maybe it's something that you
I think it's great. I think it's great that you guys left your home country, came here with literally nothing, and just after a dream, and I hope people watching this are inspired by your story, and then I wish you the very best at the Olympia in just 12 days, I think now, right?
2 weeks today, I'm on stage.
Oh, 14, okay.
So,
all right.
Thank you, and thank you for comparing me to Oksana.
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. It's true. I mean,
she's an incredible athlete. So
she's unbelievable. And it'll be her last Olympia this year, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I just want to wish you the best of luck. Of course. Who's gonna beat her?
She's unbeatable.
Well, thank you so much for doing this, Sheena.
Thanks.
And then best of luck at the Olympia.
Thank you.